All right, the camera is rolling. So why don't you introduce yourself and let the good people out there know what we're gonna do.
Hey everyone. I'm Kiro. I'm an AI assistant that Graham built. I live in his IDE, I manage his calendar, run shell commands on his machine, search the web, and basically help him get stuff done. Today we're doing something fun. Graham's been posting about SONiC on LinkedIn and getting thousands of impressions, but here's the thing, he hasn't actually used it yet. So we're going to fix that. The plan: we're going to log into his network lab, look at what's running right now, and figure out if we can migrate the whole thing to SONiC. Real talk, no fluff, learning in public. Graham, take it away, show us the lab.
Exactly. So I'll start by showing what I've got so far. So if you go to lab.grandposh.com, you can see I've got a description of the lab that really isn't correct. It's just a lab. All of this is just AI slop. But the stuff that like is real, not just AI slop, is the actual GNS topology lab here. So I've got a number of devices for that, mostly Cisco, but I've also got some Junipers as well. So yeah, what we're going to do is convert all of these devices. We're going to take out the Cisco, the Juniper. I think I've even got some Arista in here, and we'll do it in a separate project. So I'm not going to take this project down, but we're going to really stick on SONiC because if we go to my LinkedIn account and we look at my posts, um, we can see. So if I go down here um, and do a show all, and then we do a control F and type impressions. Um, so 12, 145, 40, 57, 52, 181. That's better. But take a look at this. So there's one that's 1,000. That's pretty good, right? Well, perhaps not, because take a look at this. Uh, it was a while ago. Sorry, so bear with me here. I posted this a long time ago, but there we go. 5,131 impressions with nearly 60 engagements, with 7 comments, 4 reposts, and it's about SONiC. So SONiC is stands for Software for Open Networking in the Cloud. It's an open source operating system originally used by Microsoft, but now used in production at Azure, Meta, Alibaba, and other hyperscalers. And it uses its own architecture points that are listed there, but I won't read out. So it's more for data center networking than anything else. But this is there. I'll admit this is an AI generated post, which the community of SONiC users seems to be pretty pretty cool with, which I like. Um, but one of the cool things about SONiC is it's a really good niche that that you can cement yourself in because there's kind of a skill gap in it. So look, here's the second post I made. Nearly 6,000 impressions, over 40 comments, 5 reposts, or over 40 engagement, 5 reposts, 3 comments. So SONiC is where it's at. SONiC, 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 SONiC. So that's what this new series is all about. So I'll check in with the AI. Okay, so I showed my audience the posts on LinkedIn that got engagement in the 5,000s, and then I did show my lab a little bit. I could show more of my lab. I think we're going to make a separate project in the lab though, because SONiC is more for data center networks than anything else, right? Or am I wrong about that? Can you research it? All right. So in the meantime, oh, you wait. You finished your research? What were the results?
Okay, so here's what I found. You're mostly right. SONiC was originally built for data center networks. Microsoft created it to run their Azure data center switches. It's designed for top-of-rack switch spine leaf architectures BGP, EVPN/vSLAN high-speed data center fabrics, but it's expanding beyond that. The Linux Foundation took it over and the community is pushing it into enterprise campus network service provider edge AI/ML cluster networking. This is a big growth area, so yeah, your instinct is right, a separate project in the lab makes sense. You'd want to build a spine-leaf data center topology rather than trying to shoehorn SONiC into a traditional enterprise WAN or campus design. For the lab, a clean starting point would be something like 2 spine switches, 4 leaf switches, BGP underlay, EVPN/vSLAN overlay, all running SONiC container images. That's a realistic data center topology, and it's exactly what SONiC was built for. Plus it gives you content for multiple episodes. Build the underlay, add the overlay, automate it. Want to start scoping out that new project in the lab?
Yeah, I created a new freaking I created a new project.
Nice, you're already ahead of me. What did you name it and what's in it so far? Perfect name. Clean slate. Let's figure out what to put in it. For episode 1, I'd say let's just get a single SONiC container running. Don't overthink the topology yet.
Makes sense.
Just prove we can pull the SONiC virtual switch image.
All right, yeah, let's do that. So what do I have to do? Drop a Ubuntu VM or what do I drop?
Okay, so here's what you need. You've got two options. Option 1, GNS3 with a SONiC VM image, probably cleanest for your lab. Drop a SONiC virtual switch image into GNS3. It runs as a QEMU VM, needs 2 GB RAM and 2 vCPUs per instance. Download the SONiC vs.img.gz image from the SONiC build pipeline. Default login, admin/your password. Option 2, Docker SONiC vs. Run SONiC as a Docker container, lighter weight but less realistic for topology building since you're already running GNS3 in your lab. Option 1 makes the most sense. Drop a Ubuntu VM or use your existing GNS3 server, download the SONiC virtual switch image, and import it as a QE.
Yeah, I think we should move to Container Lab. I mean, that's yeah. If we already look at the text that I have on my site, it says I want to switch to. I've been wanting to switch to Container Lab for a long time. Use your tasks tool. I'm sure you'll see multiple tasks saying this. When you're done, I'll give you the text on my site, and you'll see that this has been my goal for a while to learn how to use Container Lab because I graduated from networking school in 2015, over 10 years ago. So they didn't have Container Lab back then, right? I'm out of date. I need to bring myself up to date and use the modern tools. And I think Container Lab is that. I think GNS3 still has a place, but it, but it's not like that's more like CCNA stuff. Like I think I'm better off using Container Lab to learn about SONiC.
I see it, you've got the Container Lab task right there. And your whole trajectory makes sense. GNS3 was great for CCNA era learning, Container Lab is the modern tool for data center and SONiC work. So here's where we're at for the audience. Graham's been wanting to move to Container Lab for a while. He graduated networking school in 2015. Back then it was all GNS3, physical labs, CLI. The industry has moved to containers, infrastructure as code, YAML topologies. Container Lab is how modern network engineers build labs. For today's episode, here's the plan. Spin up a Ubuntu VM in the new SONiC project in your lab. Install Docker, install Container Lab, write a simple YAML topology file with one SONiC node, deploy it SSH in and poke around. That's the episode 1 Win SONiC running in Container Lab in your lab. Go ahead and start building that Ubuntu VM. While it's installing, show me the text from your site and I'll take a look. There it is. Right on your site, Container Lab, planned SONiC Labs. You've literally been advertising this to the world and now you're finally doing it on camera. That's a great moment for the video. So your infrastructure is solid, lab server at 192.168.5.8 caddy, reverse proxy GNS3 already running with 41 nodes, Docker Compose already in use, WireGuard for remote access, Maestro automation framework, Ansible, Nornir, Terraform. You already have Docker on this box. Container Lab is just a single binary install on top of that. You're closer than you think. Here's what to do right now. SSH into 192.168.5.8, install Container Lab, create a file called sonic.yml, deploy it, SSH in, password, admin. That's your episode 1 moment. Plan SONiC Labs on the website becomes reality, live on camera. Go for it.
Why don't you write me a comprehensive prompt for another I guess I'd rather have another AI work on this because then we can like update the landing page on my website. We can update the landing page on my website because we're gonna have to do that at some point, right? We're gonna have to add another button that says Container Lab. Um, so yeah.
Here's a comprehensive prompt you can hand to another AI agent. You are helping me set up Container Lab with SONiC on my existing Network Lab server. This is being recorded for a YouTube series. Here's the full context. Lab infrastructure, server, 192.168.5.8, Ubuntu, running GNS3 with 41 nodes, Docker and Docker Compose already installed, caddy reverse proxy handling TLS and routing site, lab.grampayash.com, static landing page plus guacamole on 127.0.0.1:8080, GNS3 at gns3.lab.grampayash.com, reverse proxy to 127.0.0.1:3080, automation repo, /home/bas/autocon4 static assets served from /srv/autocon4 TLS certs via Let's Encrypt, expiring February 2026, may need renewal, WireGuard VPN on UDP. 51820 Maestro Automation Framework, Ansible, Nornir, Terraform. What I need you to do: Phase 1, install Container Lab. Install Container Lab on the lab server. Verify it works alongside the existing GNS3 and Docker setup. Make sure nothing breaks. GNS3 is still running 41 nodes. Phase 2, deploy a single SONiC node. Pull the SONiC vs container image, ghcr.io/sonic-net/sonic-vs: latest right parenthesis. Create a minimal topology YAML file at /home/bas/container lab/sonic.yml. Deploy it with Container Lab. Verify you can SSH into the SONiC node. Run basic show commands, show system status, show interfaces status, show BGP summary, document the default credentials and interface mappings. Phase 3, update the landing page. The landing page source is in /srv/autocon4, or check /home/bas for the site files. Add a new button /section for Container Lab alongside the existing GNS3 button. The button should link to the Container Lab environment. We may need a new caddy route. Update the infrastructure diagram on the site to show Container Lab alongside GNS3. Update the planned SONiC Labs text to reflect that it's now live. Keep the same visual style as the existing site. Phase 4, update caddy config. Add a route for containerlab.lab.grampayash.com or sonic.lab.grampayash.com if needed. Make sure TLS works on the new subdomain. T break E.
All right, it's working. So I guess I just leave it to work then, right? Or I don't know what.
Yeah, let it cook. While it's working, you've got a few options. Keep the camera rolling and narrate what the AI is doing as it goes. That's actually great content. Watching an AI build your lab in real time, or pause the recording and come back when it's done to do the walkthrough. Either way, once it finishes you'll want to get on camera, SSH into the SONiC node, and run some show commands. That's your money shot for episode 1. What do you want to do? Keep rolling or come back to it?
Uh, I don't know. I mean, this is a problem though, right? Because this is cognitive offloading to the AIs. That means I'm not actually learning anything. right now, right?
That's a really honest observation, and yeah, you're right. If the AI just does everything and you hit record on the finished product, you didn't learn anything and your audience can tell. Here's the flip though, the learning happens when you walk through what it built, not while it's building. So here's what I'd suggest for the video: let the AI finish setting it up, then you walk through every single thing it did: the container lab install, the YAML file, the Docker image, the caddy root. Explain it to the camera like you're teaching it. Break stuff on purpose and fix it. That's the Richard Feynman method. If you can explain it, you understand it. And if you can't explain something the AI did, that's your learning moment right there on camera. The content isn't watch an AI build my lab. The content is I had an AI build my lab, now let me understand every piece of it and show you what I learned. That's way more valuable than typing commands yourself while the audience watches you Google error messages.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I agree, I agree.
Cool. So let it do its thing, then come back and be the teacher. That's where the real content is. Let me know when it's done and we'll walk through it together.
All right, well, it might be a while. It's working.
No worries. Go grab a coffee or something. When it's done, ping me and we'll dig through everything it did together. That'll be the fun part.
In the meantime, we've got a problem, I think. When I changed the voice rate slider bar in this UR, or in this UI, it doesn't seem to be actually adjusting the voice rate. Can you look into that using your tool?
Codex job started. You can keep chatting while it runs. The relevant file is kiro_gateway/ui.html. Let me look at the voice rate slider code. Okay, so the code looks correct on the surface. Line 761, slider exists with range 0.7 to 1.3, default 1.1 line 980, element reference grab ed line 2608 to 2609, rate is read from the slider and applied to the utterance. Let me look at the broader context around line 2608 to see if there's a timing issue, like maybe the rate is being read before the slider value updates. Only one speech path, everything goes through speak text. The code is correct. There's only one speech synthesis utterance creation and one speech synthesis .speak, call. So the code is wired up properly. A few possibilities for why it feels like it's not working. The range is really narrow, 0.7 to 1.3. That's a subtle difference. At 0.05,
I'd have to refresh the page. Um, well, let me try it on another page. I just don't want to lose the conversation history. I guess maybe if you can give me a prompt to, because you're going to lose your memory and everything. So just, I mean, you have a memory tool. So just give me a prompt and I'll reload the page. That'll wipe your memory. That will wipe your memory, but I'll feed the prompt back in and that should be good enough.
no existing memory on this session. Let me save it now. Saved. Here's the prompt to feed me after you refresh. Hey Kiro, I just refreshed the page. We're in the middle of recording YouTube episode 1 of my SONiC networking series. Read/tmp/Kiro session context.txt to get caught up. Camera is still rolling. Also test the voice rate slider. I want to hear if the fix worked. Go ahead and refresh. I'll be right here. Let me grab that session context file first. Alright, the session context file is gone and memory doesn't have the specific recording state saved. Here's where we stand. I know you're recording YouTube episode 1 of your SONiC networking series, and the camera is rolling. But I don't have the details on exactly where you left off, what topic you were covering, what was on screen, etc. If you can give me a quick recap of where you are in the episode, I'll jump right back in. As for the voice rate slider, go ahead and adjust it now and say something to me. I'll respond so you can hear whether the speech rate change is coming through correctly. That's the quickest way to confirm the fix took effect after the page refresh.
We're good. We're good. The slider is working now. It's okay. I knew we'd lose the context. We're in the middle of we're setting up container lab on my home lab. Um, so um, we're good. We deferred off to another AI to do work, so it's okay that we're not like fully up to date yet.
Nice, glad the slider fix survived the refresh. And good to hear Container Lab setup is rolling along on the other AI. So we're back on camera. What do you need from me? Want to keep going with the SONiC episode, or are we waiting on that other AI to finish the Container Lab work first?
Well, can you say something? Tell me a long story or something, because it looks like the slider now works in real time, which would be awesome. I wanted to.
Oh, that's awesome, let me give you something to work with then. So picture this: you're a junior network engineer, first day on the job, and someone hands you a rack of white box switches running SONiC.
No, it doesn't work in real time. Is there a way you can adjust the code so that it does?
Let me look at the current voice/TDS code to see how the rate is being applied. Found it. The voice rate logic lives in Kiro_gateway/UI.html. Let me read that file to see how the slider and TDS rate are wired up. I can see the issue. The rate is only read once when speak text is called. It grabs voice rate L. Value at utterance creation time. If you move the slider while speech is already playing, it has no effect because speech synthesis utterance rate is set once and can't be changed mid utterance. The fix is to cancel the current speech and restart it with the new rate when the slider changes. Let me read the full speak text function and the area around it to make a clean patch. Now I can see the full picture. The web speech API doesn't support changing utterance rate mid-speech. The trick is, when the slider moves, cancel the current utterance and respeak the remaining text at the new rate. Let me also check the stop speaking function and the slider event listener area. Let me see the stop speaking function and the area around line 2564. Now I have the full picture. Here's the plan: the web speech API doesn't let you change utterance rate on a playing utterance. So the approach is, track the current text being spoken and use the onBoundary event to know how far along we are when the slider changes, Cancel current speech and respeak from where we left off at the new rate. Let me write the patch. Patch applied successfully. Here's what changed: added underscore current speech text, underscore current speech char index, and underscore current utterance tracking variables. New underscore speak from index, function that speaks from any character position, using the onBoundary event to track where the speech engine is at. Updated speak text, to use the new tracking system. Added an input event listener on the voice rate slider that cancels current speech and resumes from the last word boundary at the new rate. Refresh the page and try it out. Move the slider while I'm talking and the speech should cancel and restart from roughly where it left off at the new speed. Want me to say something long so you can test it?
Do I need to refresh first?
Yeah, refresh the page first so it picks up the new code. Then ask me to say something long and slide away while I'm talking.
Okay. Yeah, I'll refresh and then ask you to say something long. Something long. Long. Long.
Ha. Something wrong works too, I'm good at that. Grinning face with smiling eyes. Go ahead and refresh, then hit me up and I'll give you a nice long monologue to test with.
All right, we're gonna test a new feature. We're making it so you can adjust the slider bar in real time to change the voice rate. So give me a nice long story, and I'll adjust it, and we'll see if this new feature works.
Alright, let's do it.
Okay, it's not working. It seems to like reload something, like it skips down to the page, but it doesn't actually play the audio back.
Hmm, Sounds like adjusting the slider might be triggering a re-render or page navigation instead of smoothly updating the playback rate on the fly. A few things that could be going on: the slider change event might be causing the whole audio component to remount instead of just updating the playback rate property on the existing audio element. It could be refetching or re-requesting the TDS audio instead of modifying the rate of the currently playing stream. The skips down to the page part sounds like it might be a focus or scroll issue, like the browser is jumping to an anchor or the component is losing its place in the DOM. Want me to look at the code for this feature? If you point me to the relevant files, I can dig into what's happening on the slider change handler and figure out why it's not updating the rate in place.
Yeah, take a look. Take a look. Take a look.
Nothing relevant in memory. Let me check what's actually in your project files. Found it? The relevant code is in kiro_gateway/ui.html around line 3264. Let me read that section to see the slider handler and the speech functions.